Spark Plugs Clash at the Mag, presented by General Tire. There's a good look at the 44 car. That is Earl Pearson Jr., and they've been working on developing a chassis. It's in its second year of development, and finally it's starting to pay some dividends. We had a chance to speak to him earlier.
If you look through the pit area nowadays with the Bloomquist guys and Moyer, all the guys he's got involved with his chassis and Masterbuilt, they all kind of parking together, and we're just kind of sitting here by ourselves with our own chassis, and where them guys got 3 or 4 guys, going on the racetrack, and they can try something, they can try different tires, a different spring or whatever, and, they got a lot more feedback at the racetrack amongst themselves. So we're working with that. We got a couple more people involved, new fabricators, and we got a new crew guys coming aboard with us, so things are better out on the road and in the shop as well. You have a bad night, you gotta let it go. It's just the only thing you can do. It's just the way it is in racing.
And he is a seasoned veteran, to say the least, and he's exactly right. He's paying the cost now for a couple of years, but he's hoping to reap the benefits once he gets this thing figured out.
John Blankenship, we heard from him earlier in the night.
Bottom line is that when you develop these chassis, what's going on there is everybody has their own little deal happening. So if you're going to buy one of those, chances are pretty good you're not going to get all the secrets you need. You're going to end up following. So if you want to join them or if you want to beat them, you got to figure out which way you want to go. And if you're getting started in your career, maybe you want to join them, just learn how to keep up. Then later on, you want to beat them. As we take a look at the California kid, Tyler Reddick, and this young man has so much talent. He has really shined throughout the last couple of years.
Well, we heard from Earl Pearson Jr. Let's hear from his teammate, Brad Need, as he's with Dave Arkwright.
Brad Need, out of the race, what happened? We just decided to call it off there tonight. I felt like we were maybe going to hold up the leaders. It's just a shame for this Red Buck Cigars car. It's not been really where we wanted it to be all weekend, and we just struggled to get in the race, and we couldn't make enough changes to make it happen then either.
So tough break for Brad Neat, another very talented driver, picking and choosing some of the events he runs with the Tour here this season. That was a good look at the leaders, by the way, just a moment ago. Now we go back here to Earl Pearson Jr. and Mike Marlar. Keep in mind, Earl Pearson Jr. has charged from deep in the field here tonight, so he's having a good showing, almost right into the back of Tyler Reddick there.
Yeah, and Tyler Reddick says, okay, I'll move out of the way. The problem is he's got Marlar on the outside of him, so Reddick's going to have to hold his position in the middle of a racetrack. Now he'll slide up in front of Marlar, who will dive to the inside. A battle for position between the 44 of EPJ Earl Pearson Jr. and the 5B of Marlar. And Earl Pearson Jr. doing a great job on the bottom, but just like we saw Don O'Neill get into the back of a lap car, EPJ almost doing that, kind of scared Tyler Reddick there, I think, for a second.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Tyler knew he was there. Usually these guys can hear. They just have that sixth sense of knowing when somebody's there, and he got up there and then really tried to get out of the way. And as you mentioned before, Marlar was up there. But I'll tell you, Marlar coming right back down underneath him. Starting 19th, the 44 car has done a great job.
On board with Lucas Oil Products and Earl Pearson Jr., 4-time series champion. Really trying to turn his year around. Just one podium finish so far this year. Setting up these race cars is very crucial, Dave.
We've heard several drivers tonight talk about the car being too tight, and they dropped out of the race. What they mean is these cars are infinitely adjustable with the shock absorbers, the springs, the tire choice, the settings throughout the car. When you miss it, the front end of this car wants to push. You turn the wheel spin, it just pushes across the track. Makes it very difficult to drive the car. As we've heard them say, they just as soon pull in rather than crash and tear everything up on a night that they know they're not going to pass very many cars.
And we always use that term push for our newer viewers. Really what happens is, as he mentioned it, you turn the wheels and the car just continues to go straight. So it just won't rotate the car to help you make the turn. We go on board with Jonathan Davenport in General Tire, as it looks like he's going to get lapped as well. I'll tell you, the rate Don O'Neill is going, he might lap the entire field. He is on fire.
Well, that's the thing, with no cautions on these long green flag runs. Don O'Neill, very fast race car. He's going to log some quick laps, and he's going to run by guys like they're standing still. And Don O'Neill's one of those veterans that just does not make a mistake.
Just about 12 laps to go here in the main event. Come on back. There's a look at your Optima Top 5.